Hello and welcome to my video. Thank you for popping by. No matter who you are or where you're from and what your background is, you're more than welcome to share my space with me. I like to talk about Jesus the man, Jesus before Christianity as my channel is called. And for those of you who are maybe seeking to find out more about your spiritual side, what I like to call your soul, then you've arrived in the right place, hopefully. Your thoughts and my thoughts might align. If you're somebody who has strong Christian beliefs or religious beliefs and you find anything that I say may be upsetting or doesn't align with what you believe, then please move on. Find something else to watch. I'm not here for you. And I certainly don't intend to upset anybody. That's not my way. I don't want you to believe everything I say. I don't want to force anybody to believe what I believe. I just want to share what I feel and what I think I know with all of you. And if you've stayed, then who knows? Maybe today's the day that we can start getting you a little closer to your soul, to your inside, to your spirit. Now, Jesus taught in parables. And one of the things with parables is that they're a bit abstract and you can maybe look at them in different ways. And that's half the problem, is the way that some people decipher them, because you can look at them in hindsight. But if we look at them as the actual way they were done, but look at them from the 21st century lens, then maybe things could be a little bit more understandable and we might understand better Jesus' teachings. And let's face it, Jesus' teachings were love. Love thy neighbour, love thine enemy. That's simple. Somebody slaps your cheek, turn the other cheek. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. If we all live like that, my goodness, wouldn't the world be a wonderful place? However, people don't live like that. But maybe over a period of time, the world will start to change. The parable I'm going to talk about today is the parable of the sower. Now, Jesus tells the story of a farmer. Well, we all like a good story. Well, I know I do. So are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin with the story of the sower.
That same day Jesus went out of the house and sat by the lake. Such large crowds gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it, while all the people stood on the shore. Then he told them many things in parables, saying, A farmer went out to sow his seed. As he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. Some fell on rocky places, where it did not have much soil. It sprang up quickly because the soil was shallow. But when the sun came up, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. Still, other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 160 or 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears, let them hear. The disciples came to him and asked, Why do you speak to the people in parables? He replied, Because the knowledge of the secrets of the kingdom of heaven has been given to you, but not to them. Whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have even what they have will be taken from them. This is why I speak to them in parables. Though seeing, they do not see. Though hearing, they do not hear or understand. In them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah. You will be ever hearing, but never understanding. You will be ever seeing, but never perceiving. For this people's heart has become calloused. They hardly hear with their ears, and they have closed their eyes. Otherwise they might see with their eyes, hear with their ears, understand with their hearts and turn, and I would heal them. But blessed are your eyes because they see, and your ears because they hear. For truly I tell you, many prophets and righteous people longed to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. Listen then to what the parable of the sower means. When anyone hears the message about the kingdom and does not understand it, the evil one comes and snatches away what was sown in their heart. This is the seed sown along the path. The seed falling on rocky ground refers to someone who hears the word and at once receives it with joy. But since they have no root, they last only a short time. When trouble or persecution comes because of the word, they quickly fall away. The seed falling among the thorns refers to someone who hears the word. But the worries of this life and the deceitfulness of wealth choke the word, making it unfruitful. But the seed falling on good soil refers to someone who hears the word and understands it. This is the one who produces a crop, yielding 100, 60 or 30 times what was sown.
Okay, what did you think? It got a bit complicated, didn't it, when Jesus was talking? And that's from the Bible. That's from Matthew. Matthew's version. Luke's version was almost identical. What was interesting was Mark's version, when the disciples asked Jesus to explain about the parable. Jesus actually says, if you don't understand the parable, who's going to understand the parable? You know, you guys, you're my disciples. Surely you're getting onto it. But I think we'll see as we go through all these stories that actually the disciples weren't really getting it. So let's talk about the parable. What sort of soil are you? That's a good question to start, isn't it? What sort of soil are you? So, seeds fell on the pathway. Now, a pathway's hard. Seeds can't put down roots. So the seeds just sit there and the birds come along and eat them and take them away. And Jesus' explanation for that was that the wicked one will come and take them away. Now, when I was a boy, and I was once, my dad, when I came home from school, and my dad would say to you, what did you learn at school today? And all like all kids, I said, not very much. And he'd say, well, what's the point of going to school then? Well, what did you do? So I'd say to him, well, for example, I'd say, we did geography today. And he'd say to me, did you enjoy it? And I'd say, no, it's really boring. I didn't even bother listening. I'm so disinterested in it, I didn't bother listening. And he would say, oh, those seeds fell on the pathway. And I sort of got it now. I didn't get it then, but I've got it now, what he was saying. He wasn't an incredibly religious man, but he did have a lot of Jesus' sayings, and they did fit into the life. And so what he was saying was that if you're not open to it, if you're not interested in it, if you're not prepared to put in the effort, then those seeds are not going to be stolen by an evil one, but they're just not going to happen. Your laziness in not wanting to apply yourself to learn is the evil one. It's your laziness is the evil one, because you don't want to apply yourself. And if you don't want to apply yourself, you have no interest, then that's fine. And what Jesus is saying is there's no point in feeding the seeds to those people, because they're not going to listen. Now, what about where seeds were thrown on stony ground, where there was a little bit of earth, but it wasn't enough for them to take root? So those seeds grew. He said they wilted and shrank and burnt. Now, I totally understand where he's coming from with that. So those people, those seeds, those people who were receiving those seeds, they were, oh yeah, great, this sounds really good. It's sort of like a fashion. Oh, I'd like to do this. This is, yeah, eternal life. I'll go for some of that. Yeah, brilliant. And then of course it's, oh, hang on a minute. You mean I've actually got to love people, and I've got to put in an effort, and I've got to do things. It's a bit like we had a bit of a green revolution in the UK, in the United Kingdom, a few years ago, where suddenly loads and loads of people were voting for the Green Party. And it became a bit of a surprise for everybody. And then, of course, afterwards it dropped off. For the next local elections, it dropped off. And it turned out that everybody thought it was a good idea to vote Green because we want to save the planet, blah, blah. However, when they realised it meant they couldn't use their great big four-wheel drive tractor to go to school to pick the kids up and to pop down to the shops to buy a bottle of milk, and oh goodness me, no, I mean, I've got to do that? Oh no, everybody else can do that. I just want to carry on. So that's the same sort of thing. That's my parable explanation, is that it's that those are the people who, it's all very a good idea until they actually put some effort in and had some, and apply themselves. No, I can't do that. And then, of course, we've got the seeds that fall where they're strangled by weeds. Now, these are the people who basically have disconnected completely from their soul. All they're interested in is wealth and achieving more, and as I've said in videos before, wants. All they're interested in is what they want. They don't really care about anybody else as long as they can have what they want. I mean, classic things in the world going on at the moment with the shift of people moving around, and how much do you see of a true love of other people going on in the world at the moment? There doesn't seem to be a lot, does there? I mean, it seems to me that Jesus was trying to teach us that we should all love each other, and we move away from the Old Testament because, you know, one of the things the Christian church does is talk a lot about, well, the modern Christian church talks a lot about the Old Testament, when that was an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And what is Jesus teaching? Jesus is teaching forgiveness. Jesus is teaching that we should love each other. So that's a sort of disconnect there straight away. So that's my thoughts on the parable. So we've got the different types of ground that the seeds land on. What sort of ground do you think you are? I think if you've got this far, you're probably good soil. I think you're looking to reach to your soul. I think you're looking to find your soul, looking to reconnect with your soul. Let's say that. You're looking to reconnect with your soul. Forgive me, I'm British, I need a cup of tea. So, you want to reconnect with your soul. Jesus' teachings can help you to do that. Now, I said in my last video, and I shall say it again, loving everybody, how can you do that? And it's so hard. I mean, there you are driving your car and somebody cuts you up and pulls across in front of you, and your instant instinct is to drive up behind them and make sure they haven't got a lot of room and let them know that you're cross because they took your bit of road. How can you love them? How can you love a serial killer, as I've said before? How can you love a murderer? How can you love a dictator who has people murdered? How can you love a country that wipes out another country, genocide? You're not. You can't. It's not human nature. We're all human. That's the whole point of Jesus, the man. He was human. He understands the frailties. Do gods, as they talk about gods, do gods understand human frailty? Well, if they've never been human, how can they? That's the whole point. Jesus was human. Now, I don't believe in a Godhead. I don't believe there's a God, because in Jesus' teachings, he's mainly talking about, well, in the Gnostic Gospels anyway, he's talking about the God inside us, our own spirit inside our soul. And all our souls are connected. I'm getting off the subject. I didn't want to wander off onto there. So let's get back to the parable. Your soul is fed by love. Somebody really, really evil has a soul, and that soul is fed by love. But that soul has been so disconnected from the mortal person that soul's got no chance of getting that mortal person back. But we can send our love to that soul and let that soul know that it's loved by the rest of us, by our souls, so that it knows it's part of, it remains part of the all of us. And by putting out that love, eventually those souls will be able to reclaim their mortals. Maybe some mortals have gone too far, but they're going to go around again. It's our opportunity to send out our love and help other people reconnect with their souls. The more of us there are, the more of us we can do it, then we can make a difference in the world. We really can. I spoke about hippies in the last video and how in the late 60s and early 70s we all believed that love was the answer to everything and that war was wrong. Well, of course we were right, but things moved on and people get jobs and have children and it all gets forgotten, sadly. But I'm trying to drag us back there now. I think it's time that we did. And I don't think I'm on my own. I think there's lots of us out there that are all feeling the same way, that we need to find that basic love, connect our souls. And once we start connecting our souls, we'll improve things and things will change. Things will really, really change. Well, I hope you enjoyed that video. As I promised, at the end, I will now post up, before the end of the video, I will post up a prayer that you can say in your head to yourself, to your soul, and this will help you to reconnect with your soul. Do subscribe, please do subscribe, because I've got lots and lots more videos coming, and I should be talking more and more about how you can reconnect with your soul, and I think it's important that we do. And please do like, because I enjoy if it's liked, and please do comment. make comments, ask me questions, and I will answer them in other videos. I have no problem with that. I won't necessarily be able to answer all your comments, but I will certainly read them all, and I will certainly answer any questions you might have in future videos. Now, what's important now is that I've been called a blasphemer, and there's certain things. Can I say, first of all, what I'm speaking about is not a religion. This is not a religion. This is just about a faith, maybe, people coming together and trying to live their lives like Jesus lived his life, in love and empathy and understanding, and, you know, like the Native Americans used to say, you know, you want to know how I feel? Then walk 5 steps in my shoes. That sort of thing. I mean, we've got to pull back. We've got to pull back. There's too much of people being in it for themselves, and their souls need to reconnect with those mortals, and it will happen in time, but it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of us. And I know you're out there. I know you'll want to connect with me. If you want to call me a blasphemer, that's fine. I'm just going to deal with that in my next video. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Thank you for watching this far. I'm now going to put up the prayer that you can have. You please pause the video so that you can read it. Maybe write it down so you can use it regularly. It will help you connect with your soul. It certainly did for me. And I will see you in my next video. Do subscribe. Do love. Do care. Do cherish. Do love the neighbour. Do love your enemies. Do forgive. Really do forgive. It's such a weight off your shoulders when you can forgive. And I shall see you in the next video. Thank you for getting this far. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.